Hi all, vaccine, the one word that we have been coming across very frequently in all the medias and the newspaper. There are a lot of news about vaccine is getting developed, vaccine is getting tested, vaccine is being transported, vaccine is getting imported. But what is a vaccine? How a vaccine got developed and what is the impact of vaccine in the human mankind? And how the vaccine is getting inserted into the human body is what we're going to see in this short video. Welcome to Ramesh Nivash YouTube channel. In 16th century, over 30% of Chinese population died because of a pandemic called smallpox. For the next 200 years, multiple experiments were done, multiple medicines were created, but nothing could stop this smallpox issue. The same thing with the chickenpox also. In the year 1796, the first ever vaccine was developed by Edward Jenner in a very accidental manner. He took a pus from cowpox, inserted on a boy, 8-year-old boy, and then exposed the boy to the chickenpox issue. He studied that the boy did not develop any symptoms because of the chickenpox, and thus the chickenpox vaccine was accidentally developed. He did the same thing for about 20 times with the same boy, and each time the boy was not affected with the chickenpox disease. And then he did the same experiment about 23 people and then identified a permanent vaccine for chickenpox. So that's how crudely a vaccine was developed in the year 1796, the first ever vaccine for chickenpox. Similarly, in 1885, Louis Pasteur developed a vaccine for rabies. A 9-year-old boy who was bitten by a stray dog, Pasteur started inserting the dog's blood for about 13 days into the boy's body, and he identified that the boy was able to develop resistance for the rabies disease, and that's how the rabies vaccine were developed. So historically, this is how the vaccine were developed, and from then on, the next 50 years was a year where a lot of vaccines got developed: whooping cough, diphtheria, tetanus, influenza, mumps, polio, measles, rubella. For all the disease, vaccines were developed. So now comes the point, what is a vaccine? Vaccine is nothing but an immune development for a body. It provides antibody. So immunity, again, there are two types of immunity in the human body: adaptive, and adaptive can be done in a natural and artificial way, and using a vaccine is creating a immunity in an artificial manner. So when a vaccine gets inserted into the human body will start developing antibodies. These antibodies will fight against the vaccine, which is nothing but a pinch of the disease itself in different manner. So these antibodies will get developed and then starts killing the vaccine itself. So next time if the real disease comes into the human body, this particular antibodies which got generated and then got stored into the body system will help fighting the actual disease, and that's how vaccines are always developed. So vaccine development is done in 3 different forms, or one is called the whole-microbe approach, second is subunit approach, and the last one is a genetic approach. So these are the 3 different ways on which virus is manufactured or created or developed. If we talk about the first one, the whole-microbe approach is further classified into inactivated vaccine, live-attenuated vaccine, and the third is viral vector vaccine. So as the name indicates, the whole-microbe approach uses the virus itself to create the vaccine. In the inactivated vaccine, the actual virus is taken and it is killed through heat, radiation or chemical process, and that dead virus is used for vaccine generation. In live attenuated vaccine, the weakened form of virus is taken for vaccine manufacturing process. In the third type, viral vector vaccine, the key spiral part of vaccine is taken, possibly the proteins or the subparts is taken without any harmful agents, and that particular part is used for creation of the vaccine itself. The vaccine for common flu, polio was done through inactivated vaccine process. Vaccine for measles, mumps and rubella were done through a live attenuated process, and virus for the Ebola was developed using the viral vector vaccine process. Similarly, in the second major category, the subunit approach, only the very specific part of virus is taken to create the vaccine. Vaccine for whooping cough, tetanus, diphtheria are developed using this approach. The last but not the least, the genetic approach, wherein the specific proteins of the virus are used. For example, the DNA, RNA combinations are used. It is how cancer and COVID vaccines are getting developed. So these are the 3 common approaches in which vaccines are developed. Thus, developed vaccine are generally in liquid form because liquid form is preferred as it easily get dissolved into the human body. The virus are also, there are some kind of nasal vaccines available, but it is not very common. Vaccines are always inserted into the muscle of the human body. So if you see, we have the first layer of the skin is called epidermis, and second is the dermis, and then subcutaneous tissue, and the last is a muscle. So all vaccines are directly inserted into the muscle. Reason is muscle have high blood flows. Muscle has immune cells. A lot of immune cells are available in the muscle, and that's called dendritic cells are all available in the muscle. So these dendritic cells are the one which is called T cells or B cells or WBC, and these are the cells in which once a vaccine fights the disease, the antigens gets developed, and the antigen formula, the chemical formula will get stored into these T cells and WB cells, etc. And that's how when the actual virus comes in, these viruses are getting killed by these antigens through these kind of memory storage. So that's about the vaccine in general. So we saw about how the history of vaccine, how it was evolved first, and how it was accidentally identified, and then how the vaccines are produced or generated, and how the vaccine gets inserted into the human body, and what does a vaccine cause when it enters into the human body. These are the things that we saw in this video. If you like the video, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel, and you also can leave your positive comment in the comment section. I have very extensively covered about the COVID vaccine also in the other video. Please watch that also. Thank you.